Welcome to round three of Eat the Buckle, the horror movie battle royale podcast that puts two movies in a weekly head-to-head matchup where the loser will remain in the ring another week and we will be forced to watch it repeatedly until we have one last movie standing in an effort to determine the worst horror movie ever made. This week's matchup is, once again, 1981's Madman versus The Challenger, 2007's Planet Terror. I'm Jared, and with me as always are my intrepid co-hosts, Aaron and Josh. Fellas, how we doing this week?
Oh, how we good? Today I went to do laundry because I have a trip coming up uh to the beautiful town of Barboursville, West Virginia this
Mm.
coming week.
Okay.
And the dryer's not working.
Oh, uh-oh.
Uh
Oh,
Now earlier this week I had somebody come out because the motor to the fan in our it's we don't have a septic system. I don't know exactly what the system is, but it requires a fan to be running so your the land around you doesn't smell like poop. And and that stopped working. So a guy came out and looked at it, and he went underneath. He couldn't figure out anything wrong with the breaker. Went underneath the house, and when he came back out, he said something like the previous owner had basically like messed up the wiring and was running something through something else that caused the motor to short out. Anyway, he's like, everything's working just fine now. Okay, great. He leaves. And then now the dryer's not working. So I think somehow he messed up the wiring to the washer and dryer. Uh, so now I get to spend tomorrow at the laundromat. So
oh.
You
this week was wonderful.
you could take a laptop to the laundromat and watch Madman.
Really kick you in the balls while you're down.
I mean,
A little bit of foreshadowing, I suppose.
maybe a spoiler alert to what's coming. That sucks though, man. That you need a clothesline or something. Put it to how many clothes are you drying? Are you doing like a full ass load
I
or
haven't done my laundry in a while, so yeah, it's kind of backed up.
Oh shit.
so does the area around your house smell like shit?
No, it's good now because the fan's working.
Okay. Well, I mean, would you rather have the fan working so that it doesn't smell like shit or have your dryer working?
That's a good question. I don't know that I really have an answer for you. Currently, it's that the dryer works, but I
Yeah,
really don't smell like the smell of feces when I'm walking outside either. So,
Ugh.
get me after the laundromat trip. I don't miss those days living in New York, having to track like just haul all my laundry 2 blocks down to the laundromat and spend an entire fucking day there. Is the worst. Ugh. God
yeah.
bless dryers and washing machines. How you doing, AJ?
I'm good. All my major appliances seem to be okay. So the worst that I had was that I watched Madman again today.
I, I thought like last week we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be excited to watch it. What I meant to say was, if I like how to articulate is, I'm excited to talk about it and laugh at it again. But when
Yeah.
you're like getting ready to press play and just staring down the barrel of an hour 28 of Madman coming at you, it's a hard thing to press that play button and just know that
I
what's coming at you.
I
It's a
can
long hour 28, buddy.
I
yeah,
feel
you can
every
you can get through that first, I don't know, 8 minutes, no problem. But as soon as all the relationship strife kicks in with uh what's oh god, I've blocked the guy's name out.
doesn't matter.
PT,
TP,
TP,
toilet paper,
toilet paper. Yeah, toilet paper
trash,
and all
trash
the
pile.
yeah, and Betsy going back to the city, quote unquote. I'm just like,
The
no,
big city.
no.
Hey, we'll get into it. We'll get into
Oh
it.
yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so I guess we'll talk a little bit about Planet Terror, the challenger for this week. It's really got its work cut out for it to try to take down Madman in this battle of shit.
I don't think it's going to be a close fight.
No, this is probably the least close one yet for me. Okay, so Planet Terror, I'll give you some a little breakdown on that. Released April 6th, 2007. This was, of course, the part of the double feature Grindhouse kind of gimmicky movie that was Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, who Rodriguez directed Planet Terror. It's kind of the budget's a little weird because I saw two different budgets. One was for Grindhouse and one was just for Planet Terror. So I don't really, or I'm sorry, the box office. I got a breakdown of the box office for both Grindhouse and Planet Terror. Do you know, did they ever release Planet Terror as like singularly as a movie? I don't
I feel like I don't know. I mean, it's how many years ago are we talking? 14 at this point?
Yeah, seven.
Okay. Or 17.
Oh,
17.
2007. But yeah, Jesus. 17 years ago?
Ooh.
I wonder if they're including, maybe they re-released them separately later, or are they including like times it might have just run in theaters on its own, or are they including digital or home video release? I don't know.
It was box office. So regardless, box office, the budget for Grindhouse was reported somewhere between 53 and 67 million. You want to guess whether it ate the buckle at the box office?
I bet it made at least 100 million.
It may have been beat by the box office of Mad Men on the Laserdisc sales.
It only made 25 million, so
shit,
it was well under the budget. And then the reported box office for just Planet Terror was 11.4. I don't know how accurate that is, but the budget for Planet Terror alone was 23 million, so didn't do well. Let's see the cast. We got Rose McGowan, Freddie Rodriguez, Josh Brolin. Pretty good cast.
What a cast! Tom Savini,
Tom Savini, and don't forget
Bruce Willis.
Fergie getting credited over Bruce Willis. Really tickled my funny bone. She wasn't bad. I mean, she
may have had. I think she was on the set probably more hours than Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I saw something that Bruce Willis, like at the parts where he has the mask on, like wasn't even him. It was a body double, so even less screen time.
Yep.
Willis.
Yeah,
that's funny. Before we get in the movie, though, after I watched this, I was like, what the hell has happened to Robert Rodriguez? After I mean, his career, he made so many great, like Desperado, El Mariachi, Faculty, this Planet Terror.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Machete. Like, so after this, he made like 2 Machete movies. Then listen to this is abysmal. I wrote it down because I couldn't believe it. I was like, what was the last Robert Rodriguez movie I saw, which was probably Machete? He made a Demi Lovato music video, a few episodes of Dusk Till Dawn TV show. In 2018, he made a movie called Red 11. Ever heard of that? Nope.
No.
2019, he made a movie called Alita Battle Angel. Then he made You've seen that? What?
Yeah.
You're the one?
It's basically take Rose McGowan's. I mean, it's based off a Japanese animation, but it's basically take Rose McGowan's character from Planet Terror and put her in a mech suit instead of go-go dancer with a machine gun leg, and you've got the same movie.
Is it good?
No.
It doesn't sound good.
It's not great.
I mean, he did start up a whole network called, what is it, El Rey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, he did the Dusk Till Dawn TV show.
Yeah, and that was probably on El Rey.
He did. Okay, so after Lita, he did a Lady Gaga video. Then he made a movie called We Can Be Heroes in 2020. What like then he did a Billie Eilish concert, movie concert for Disney Plus. And just last year he made a Ben Affleck movie called Hypnotic. Did you ever hear what which lost
This
$60 million at the box
we've
office?
we've
What has
got too
happened to him?
much we've got too much content. That's what we
What
got.
has happened to him? He like, I mean, you watch. We can get into it, but like Planet Terror and all these other movies that he made, he was like such a visionary, like director with such a unique style to his like his action is very unique to his vision and like
I
Uh,
thought I
I'm gonna get
remembered.
he's done this is a business he's done.
I mean, I thought I remembered reading what I could be this. This could just be my melted brain mixing things together, completely misremembering what I read. But I could have sworn I remember somewhere reading that because I think he has kids, and
Yeah, he
that's the whole
does.
reason why he made like the Shark Boy and Lava Girl
Yeah, I got
Spy
yeah,
Kids.
he
So I
does.
think maybe he just, as a family man and as a father, just decided that he was going to do different things, and
Well,
you know,
Absolutely. Yeah. I think he got his money and he was like, "Cool. I'm gonna raise
but
my kids and make the spit out a Spy Kids every once in a while."
that's right. He does have five Spy Kid movies, but like all these other movies are like the Affleck one was last year. Like what? When
What
is he just not getting? Is he just
was it
not
on
getting work?
Netflix?
from
I don't know.
I mean,
I
from what that you read off there, concert video, music videos, it sounds like he's probably just like, you know what, I'm tired of bringing my passion projects to and pouring all this time into it, and then like in Planet Terror's case, it was a commercial flop. Maybe he's just like, I'm just going to become a gun for hire, and I'll just cash in the money and do the job and move on.
he needs
I
to kick
mean,
his family to the curb and start making good movies again because I
his
miss him. I miss him and his good work.
his son plays the block kid in this movie.
Wait, which kid? What block? The block
You
kid.
know, the kid
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
blocks.
Yep. Okay. All right. So
Who has problems holding on to a revolver.
all right. So Planet Terror, quick breakdown. You guys might have to help me out with this. It's pretty simple. There's some sort of like biochemical gas that a group of scientists has created that they're trying to sell to the military. Obviously, the military wants it for their own purposes. And the movie starts out with a kind of a transaction happening between the scientists and the military. Something goes haywire, and the scientist, played by Saeed from Lost, two guys from Lost in this movie. Show you the sign of the times there. Saeed shoots one of the gas canisters and exposes, releases the gas into the world, and it kind of turns people into zombies. And then from there, it just kind of becomes your typical, well, not typical because of Robert Rodriguez's ability to make a movie. Becomes a really fucking awesome zombie movie. The whole thing with Grindhouse was that it was made through the lens of like a 70s, 80s grindhouse horror, real dirty, grimy kind of shit. And I think he did it fantastically. Um, so that's kind of the rundown. Group of unlikely people kind of band together and have to track down the antidote.
Antidote.
The antidote. So they try to track down the antidote, and zaniness ensues. And that's my breakdown. What did you guys think of it?
Uh,
Uh,
I I was uh I was just all smiles from pretty much the very beginning. Like my first thought was, man, they just don't make movies fun anymore. Like
Yeah.
before we even get to the feature film, when there's the fake preview for Machete, which wound up actually becoming a real movie, it's just like this is so much fun and it's so cool, and you just know that you're going to be in for a really good time from the get-go.
Hmm.
Um, and it doesn't stop the whole way through. It's just I don't know. That's a time and a place for movies that we'll never get back to. I don't think there's just way too many concerns out there on being not upsetting anybody, not offending anybody, and making everything so whitewashed that it just is boring at the end of the day, with some exceptions, of course. Um, Rose McGowan, just a full disclosure, she was like huge crush of mine when I was a young man, and so seeing her introduction doing the uh, doing the go-go dance, I was just like, oh God, this is fantastic.
There was a
Uh,
really weird kind of, I don't know, funk grime put over it when you immediately see the Weinstein names, and
yeah,
then it
I
goes to
did.
Rose
Yeah.
McGowan. Like that was
Uh,
kind of a bummer, but but yeah, I mean, she's so awesome that it just immediately was like, okay, I'm in.
but it's she was really good in this movie too, and I know this is the movie where I think she has all the claims that all that stuff happened to her during, right? I think she's come out and said
Either
that.
the
Oh,
screen or both. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But to your point, there is kind of, with the Weinstein name attached, there is a funk that kind of hangs over it. But if you can push past that name on there,
Yeah.
it's a really great movie. It's got some awesome performances that really, you know, didn't have to belong in a movie of this caliber, but all the actors were just completely spot on and did an amazing job. And they did it without making it too over dramatic. It just everything completely fit so well for what the movie was, which was an hour and a half of, or an hour 45 of just a grimy, hilarious, gory zombie action flick. I completely forgot Bruce Willis was even in it. Uh,
Right.
so that was
yeah.
that was fun seeing him at the very beginning. I'm like, oh man, remember when he was
Yeah.
young and able to do these things, I guess. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's a great movie to revisit. I had a lot of fun with it.
I,
It
for
had-
some reason, was a little bored. And
What?
yeah,
Unreal.
here's, I like, well, like to your point about the Weinstein stuff and Rose McGowan, like that was at the beginning for me where I was just like, oh, because even in the trailer, fake trailer, it's like from your friends at the Weinstein Company, and I was
Yeah.
like,
That immediate.
yeah. And then, I mean, if you ever want to do, and again, this is kind of like a toss up, throw up back to like old canon films, which
Mm.
was just, TNA and gore and jokes. So like it really did feel like a canon film, but then all the terrible stuff and you have that kind of leering director's eyes on Rose McGowan's butt, Rose McGowan's legs, everyone's feet, and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay. I think honestly, I had a bigger issue because I had to watch through the Roku channel on my Shield, and like it was nice because they had like a nice Dolby track on there that was an option. So I clicked that on, and it started the movie right up, and I was like, oh man, no commercial interruptions. Thank you, Roku. And then when was the first break? I think I made a note. Oh, so Dr. Block is doing the thing with the syringes, like, here's my first friend, second
Loved it.
friend, third friend, which is
Loved
great.
it. Yeah.
But right before the third one, she pulls it out and then it goes right to an ad just
Oh,
blasting as loud as it could because I had the surround sound cranked up. And
yeah.
I was like, oh no. And it was like ad one of four.
Oh,
So every chance they could get to break up like something cool happening, Roku's ads just went boom, 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 boom. And like, oh, you thought that was it. And like I thought, all right, after the first two, I was like, every 10, 15 minutes, it's gonna be happening. And then it was like down to 3 minutes. and then it stretched it out to 20 minutes, so you couldn't
Oh,
time
that's
it. And I
garbage.
was just like, oh, this sucks. So
Mm.
I didn't have a real good time.
Blame, blame
That can
Weinstein and Roku.
Yeah, the
Not,
Weinsteins
not
and Roku.
I'm surprised. Well, I don't know. If you watched it on Roku, then you watched a recent stream of it. But I'm surprised they haven't retroactively taken out the like from your friends at the Weinstein
Oh
stuff.
no, no, it's still there.
Yeah,
It's there.
I watched it on my Blu-ray and it looked great, but part of me was like, I just kind of want to watch this on like a dirty VHS, like kind of like I don't want it to be clean. It looked great, but yeah, I had a blast with it. I didn't think it was boring at all from top to bottom, front to back. It was just the pacing was so fun. Like not I loved I forgot Josh Brolin was in it. I thought he was
Yeah, I have that
Yeah.
noted.
I love how like he kind of disappeared. You know, they kind of make it look like he's dead, and then at the end he pops out of at the facility. Like how would he be here? There's so much fun stuff. Like
Oh yeah,
uh,
he's on the helicopter. Like, how are you going to be all the way from the hospital out there, and then
And everything like that, all these little minutiae throughout the movie, you could tell were done with purpose, which is just
yeah.
like
Oh, dude,
reminded me a lot of actually like I made the note. It reminds me like that Garth Ferenghi show that
yeah,
it has like a feel of Garth Ferenghi's. I can't remember the name of it, but it's it's
Dark Place.
a dark place, and it's just a very fun tongue-in-cheek kind of making fun of movies of that time period, that genre, but not to the point where it becomes an absolute
it's not a
parody.
spoof. Yeah, it's not a. I thought it was more like a love letter than a spoof.
It felt very John Carpenter-esque to me,
Yeah,
especially the
sure.
beginning.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
yeah.
beginning showdown, I was like, this could straight up like
yeah,
be a John Carpenter movie
yeah.
until until the man gets hit by a truck and backflips into a pile of testicles.
Yeah, the second movie in a row now with a really weird uh castration.
Oh, not
Through
only a castration at the end, Quentin Tarantino's dick is literally melting.
Melting off. Yeah,
yeah. But I loved so one of the two of the so the Freddie Rodriguez character and there's like
right.
a sheriff character uh throughout like the first half of the movie they're like button heads and you know Freddie Rodriguez is like the local badass and the sheriff's like I don't trust you and all that and then halfway through the movie there's like you know real
The missing reel gag. Yeah,
then it comes back. Not only does it come back and it's like shit has gone down that you didn't see, like people are injured, like, but all of a sudden, like Freddie Rodriguez and the sheriff are friends. He's like, I would have known that you were El Rey. Like, I loved it. Like so much dumb shit that's
yeah.
like would have been another 40 minutes of the movie just kind of gets taken care of in the missing reel. And then there's like characters like the one cop with like the female cop with the tube top
Yes.
police uniform. Like, where the fuck did she come from?
She makes it all the way through the end.
I know.
She does.
And she keeps like that deputy's top becomes like a halter top,
Yeah.
becomes a swimsuit. I mean, she just progressively keeps losing articles of clothing
And
or shreds of clothing.
two of my favorite characters of the movie are the two Latina babysitters that are operating as like sex line operators as well. Fun sex operators.
I loved what Jeff Fahey's character, the barbecue restaurant owner.
Oh yeah, JT.
Yeah, thought he was awesome. I loved the gore in this. The effects were incredible. The part with where they're kind of just finding out that like something's going on. It kind of keeps cutting to the hospital where Josh Brolin and his wife works, and the part where he's like the guy comes in with the bite and it keeps like the infection is spreading, and then when he sticks his tongue out, he just has like all the sores on his tongue, and he like pops the sores in his face. It's so fucking gross, but I loved it.
Yeah,
It's so
I like this version of like a send up or homage to Schlock way better than I do something like Sharknado, where they just go right out the gate like, oh, it's a shark in the tornado, like just shtick.
Mhm.
At least this is like on its own a competent canon style film
Yeah,
for
it's
like you know like it's not just you can see where there was money spent where like that stuff like right out the gate we're just like we're just gonna make a terrible half-ass movie and you'll
right.
watch it, fuck you.
That's and that's why like I give so much credit to Robert Rodriguez and wish that he would still do stuff like this because in another director's hands this would have been probably just a spoof or like a very poorly done version of this movie, but
Yeah,
he
and
just
there's a lot of cool stuff like Josh said about John Carpenter feel where like obviously Rodriguez did the music, so that's just
yeah.
like Carpenter. It's got every hey it's that guy or hey it's that gal that you can think of
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
movie. So
Yep.
you always are all like reminded of like, oh yeah, that dude was awesome in Aliens. That dude was awesome in Terminator. That dude was awesome in Sharky's Machine. Whatever I mean, whatever the movie was, like you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's awesome. That girl's awesome.
I liked
The one thing I thought the casting mishap, which um, Josh Brolin's assistant, the other medical doctor or assistant,
mhm.
the larger dude.
Yeah.
I really wish that would have been Rick Dukeman.
Well, I think he was dead
Is he
by
dead?
then.
He probably was, so that's probably you
or
know
or well on his way, maybe not capable of being in a picture.
the
from
man that would
doing
have been the Grand
from
Slam.
from doing my homework. That guy is Rodriguez's real doctor,
Oh,
Oh.
well, he was
Wow.
great.
That's
and
that's
he
awesome.
plays the exact same guy in Machete and another
Oh,
movie
wow.
of his. So he pops up a lot.
That's
Wonder if he was
hilarious.
in, I wonder
And
if he
and
was in
the go-go owner was supposedly is Rodriguez's real estate agent.
that.
He
And
was awesome in it too.
and and Rodriguez was quoted as saying something like like yeah, that's just the way he is. He wasn't even acting. That's just him coming across the screen as he
I
does
mean,
in real
well,
life.
I love when he popped up at the very end when they're like, "Does anybody know how to fly a chopper?" And he's like, "I ain't gonna fly this." The person's like, "Fly the fucking chopper!" It's just so hilarious. It's like, where did he come from?
Hey, Josh,
Yeah,
since you're the only person who's ever seen Alita Battle Angel, was 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 Robert Rodriguez the doctor in that, and how was he?
I don't. It was like it was one of
I-
the weird movies that's like mostly CGI.
yeah.
Um, like even if I remember correctly, even the actress in it has like a CGI like layover over her face. So
Oh God. Oh
yeah,
no.
it was
That
a
that
it was
thing
a
probably
weird.
cost $600 million and lost every penny of it.
It was not a good movie.
Um, so back to Planet Terror. I really liked how obviously, like we mentioned, they tried to make it look as if it were in the 80s or 70s, but they did a good job, but they still had like cell phones and for the time modern technology that
Oh yeah,
kept
those sidekicks.
yeah, it kept like taking me out of it, but then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because it made me feel that authentic. It was so jarring to see that kind of technology. Um, Aaron mentioned the scene with the nurse, Josh Brolin's wife, with her needles. That was so fucking cool. Like
Yeah,
this friend makes you feel no pain. This friend and like how it like comes back to it when Josh Brolin's trying to kill her. I think she did a really good job. Marley Shelton is her name. I've never seen her or anything. She's oh God. uh,
oh wow.
uh, so we should probably get to.
Nah, we can keep going on this one because
All
there's
right,
a lot of cool stuff to talk about, like Tom Savini revolver punches.
Tom.
Yeah, I have that noted too.
I mean, how could you not watch this movie and be like, that shit was ridiculous and awesome? Like I said, this is what Sharknado missed. Like Tom Savini sitting there after he had his finger bit off, just doing uppercuts into a guy zombie with his revolver going off. It was hilarious.
Plus, his death was so funny.
Getting torn apart.
Yeah, getting like drawn and quartered by something. But like there was a really like purposely like bad like camera stop and then like you could tell where they changed the effects. It was so that made me laugh.
Did he do the special effects? I didn't look that up.
No.
I think Greg Nicotero did.
Yeah, wow. There was a bunch of people involved, and
that's pretty cool.
Just there.
Yeah, I think, is he still in the effects game? Is he still like actively doing it, or
he's got a special effects school that he runs, but I don't know if he's still making special effects for movies or not,
or directing or showing up.
I once drank vodka and Pepsi with that man at a horror convention in Pittsburgh.
I met him at a Target and he gave me his business card.
So we could get him on what we're saying. He remembers us.
I saw him. I saw him from like 20 feet away before a Penguins game at like the Marriott or whatever it was across the street. It was his daughter, I think's wedding reception was being held there, and they were doing the setup, like the rundown stuff.
Penguins game. That's
funny. No, I think like, hey, how much it's gonna cost? What's the setup? What do we do? That kind of crap.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have a ton of note. The whole at the Rose McGowan's character gets her leg bit off. They have to like amputate her leg and then eventually put an actual like, what was it, like a leg of a table or something in there.
Yeah. It starts with the table leg.
Starts with the table leg, and then they mount a gun to her leg, which was just so cool. Like that whole
the logistics don't really work out on that, but it looks cool.
It goes from like assault rifle fire to shooting rockets to like just, like that's something that only would come from Robert Rodriguez. Like that is such a move.
He's got such a special way of placing his movies in like this heightened reality when you see shit like that. Like you've got to be a real turd of a human being to watch that and be like, oh, come on, that would never happen. Because it doesn't matter. You're just having so much fun and enjoying the spectacle.
You're in a zombie film, so just roll with it.
It reminded me of, speaking of Tom Savini, it reminded me of From Dusk Till Dawn with his character Sex Machine with his dick gun, basically. Is like, again, just such a trademark for Robert Rodriguez, and I want him to come back to us.
Yeah, it would be nice to see another Rodriguez joint in this style.
I totally forgot, because it's been years since I've seen this movie, about all right, you be careful with this gun. I gotta go into the house, and then instantly bang,
his child, his son.
And then they show that it's his own kid. They show the wound to his head, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, that's rough. And again, when I was doing my homework for the show this week, they have a special Rodriguez family director's cut of this film where the kid doesn't die, and he makes it, because at the very end of the credits it shows him with his what was it, a scorpion, a turtle, and a tarantula all hanging out on the beach. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then come to find out, like, there's only a one of one copy of this movie where he lives.
Made for the family.
Oh, maybe that's why he's just doing Spy Kids movies now.
Yeah, maybe his wife was like, well,
because it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, he even said something like, I didn't want to put another kid through that, so I just put my own through it, and I didn't tell him what happened.
Yeah, it went there. I kept waiting for them to be like, oh no, the antidote will actually bring it, some dumb, because I forgot that happened too, but no, he was just gone.
And he had the best line of the eat your brains and gain your knowledge.
Yes. That was awesome.
That Brolin Shouts out later.
That was a great callback.
I fucking lost it when Brolin
It
popped up.
wasn't quite as jarring, but there's another scene like that too with the guy that owns the barbecue shack's dog, where they're all in like the cars and they're getting chased. You see the dog jump out the back and
Rusty.
think it's gonna do something heroic, and it just gets run over.
Just instantly obliterated.
Yeah, Rusty.
I don't. This kind of pertains to. I mean, it's a little bit of a left turn, but I was watching it on the Grindhouse DVD that I had, and once it was done, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I haven't watched Death Proof in a while, so I was just like, I'll just let it play. And I remember this from seeing in theaters, just the 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 gear shift from Planet Terror to Death Proof, pun not intended. The gear shift to this fucking insane pedal to the metal, like just action packed Planet Terror to Death Proof, which is a
I
slog.
don't.
I
I
couldn't.
mind
love
Death
Death
Proof.
Proof.
I
Yeah.
remember being in theaters, just being like, what the, why wasn't this one first? Why don't
It
they?
should have been first, probably.
But just the like, I don't know. It was such a just Robert Rodriguez just rubbing his dick all over. It's
I
like,
mean, it
what I
was
can-
probably second because obviously Tarantino is the bigger name, and so you're going
Yeah.
to sit through 4 hours to see the Tarantino movie. But you're right. Like Death Proof is, I think it's awesome. I love that movie,
good. And
but
Kurt Russell's
you
fantastic.
can't show that after Death Proof or
No.
after Planet Terror. That's just
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's two different style films. Like the Tarantino one, I think is more supposed to be like an American international film, which was
Mm.
always real, just like, hey, we have a budget to do these cool special effects or real practical effect scenes, and no budget to get anyone that you really know or anyone to write well. And that was kind of like what I felt like Death Proof was like. And like I said earlier, this to me felt more like a canon film where like, oh, we got Golden Globus money to spend and it looks great, but just wouldn't be as regarded as high as a regular mainstream movie.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, it's just so boring. Kurt Russell to me is the only reason to watch that movie. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But I guess it is tangential at least.
And I do have to speak on my theory that we should take a break because it's a pretty long theory about why Tarantino has not done any present day movies set in his movie
we're
universe.
Going long today, baby. We're going
Oh
long.
man,
This match was scheduled for 10 rounds today, baby.
buckle in, no time limit, no DQ.
I was right in the middle. You didn't let me finish.
All right. So here's the theory. If you think about it, there has not been a movie since what was it? Kill Bill. That would have been no, I'm sorry. We were talking about Death Proof. Death Proof was the last quote unquote modern day film of Tarantino's. Because then he did Django, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time, and
Was Death Proof
Hollywood.
even modern day?
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was the same thing I was saying with Planet Terror. It's like
So Planet Terror and because you got Michael Parks as Sheriff McGraw, he's the same character in Kill Bill,
yes,
same character in what
Dusk Till
movie we
Dawn?
just yeah, and
Planet
and
Terror.
Planet
Dusk
Terror.
Till Dawn, yeah, yeah.
All right. So at the end of this movie, the universe is left in a zombie apocalypse where Rose McGowan is Gatling gun Mary Magdalene in Mexico,
Yep.
because you can see they built high-rise towers like downtown Manhattan right on the edge of the sea in the Pacific. So you can't do a Tarantino movie in present day because it'd have to be a zombie movie.
Huh. That is
That's why all his movies since Planet Terror have been set in the past because
wow.
there's no future.
But Planet Terror isn't a Tarantino movie.
No,
It is
but it shares
because
because of the Michael Parks character.
Michael
So,
Parks, Jungle Girl gets a shout out from Death
yeah.
Proof
So they're
and
shared.
Planet Terror.
Wow. Okay, and maybe that's
So
why.
really, we were correct. We should have done what they should have done is done Death Proof first, had that woman die, sorry, and then gone right into Planet Terror because that was your capstone
Wow.
For the whole universe.
That actually just blew my mind, man. It blew my fucking mind, man. That is
And
wow.
I'm sure there's a film nerd out there that will well actually, but I mean it makes sense. When I was sitting there watching Planet Terror yesterday, I was like, wait, is this why Tarantino films are all set in the past now?
What if his
Because
next movie is post-apocalyptic? That'd be wild, man.
yeah, I don't think poor Rose McGowan's going to get a phone call though.
No,
She should bring her back. She deserves better. Bring her back. So delightful to see her just having a good time on the screen. That's everyone in that movie was having a blast.
yeah,
I mean, have you ever seen a go-go dancer or stripper cry in real life on stage?
She's also in Grindhouse as a different character. Or not Grind, I'm sorry, Death Proof as a different character.
Yeah,
Not Cherry,
but she dies real quick.
yeah, brutal. Again, this isn't a Death Proof. Well, tangentially it is, but Death Proof should have ended with just the first car of gals getting slaughtered. We didn't need the exact same movie happening again.
I don't know. I can't. That's an
no.
argument for a different
No.
time. I really
That's a
enjoy.
different podcast.
We'll talk about it later. We have to get to it.
I guess Death Proof is a horror movie.
Yeah.
No, it's certainly a
It's
slasher.
more a thriller, I think.
All right. Well, let's put Planet. Do you guys have anything else to say about Planet Terror?
No, I think it all's been said. I mean, I could go on forever about how freaking awesome it is, but I think we've
just a cool ass movie.
Yeah.
And
then there's Madman.
Could I ask a real quick question before we go on?
Yeah.
So, of all the fake trailers in Grindhouse, so 2 of them are real now. Machete actually happened, and Thanksgiving, Eli Roth made that. What is there any other fake trailers you would want to see get made into? I really want to see that Rob Zombie, the Nazi
Werewolf
Women of the SS or whatever.
or whatever, starring Nick Cage as Fu Manchu.
I'd be all over that.
It's criminal that we haven't been given that yet. I would love to.
You have Rob Zombie to blame.
True. Absolutely. Okay, let's put Planet Terror to bed. We're running long.
We all really like the movie. Imagine that.
On to this is probably the first one we've agreed with, I think.
Yeah.
On to Madman.
He's back, baby.
Reigning champion. Madman.
Oh God.
Can he ever be bested?
Listen, I did myself a serious disservice this week by watching Planet Terror first.
Oh, don't do that.
Because after sitting through that, then I'm like, I've got to wake up tomorrow and I've got to watch Madman for the 3rd time.
You'd almost just rather not wake up. Madman Mars. What are we doing? This is awful.
It's some kind of
death. What we're doing here.
All right, let's hear the elevator pitch for Madman Mars, Bear.
There's a man named Matt. No, I can't.
No, not at week 3.
You know what? A man named Matt.
You should dress it up like a jingle. Well, once there was a man named Madman Mars.
Once was a man named Madman Mars. Kills it. Hey, you guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as I don't have to listen to a song sung by Tony Fish in this game, I'm good. Yeah.
And fire catching all around. We're gonna play a trivia game. I have 10 questions pertaining to Madman. I'm going to ask them. Buzz in with your name. First person to buzz in gets to answer.
So
And-
wait, I have to say Aaron.
Or whatever.
Josh has to say Josh.
Because I'm not
Can I
going
raise
to
my hand?
I'm going to be looking at my notes. So, all right, question one.
Josh. Oh, wait, I messed it up. All right, I say my name. Okay.
All right, you goddamn knuckleheads. You know what? We're not playing this game. Go ahead and tell me about
I
Mad Men.
want to play the game.
No, don't deny the listeners.
I'm trying to do this so we don't have to fucking talk about it again. All right. Question one. And if you don't get off the bat, I'll give you multiple choice.
Okay.
What is the name of the camp that they're in?
Wait, is it
It says it in the
Aaron?
text. It says-
Aaron.
Yep.
Aaron says it's the North Sea Cottages School for Gifted or Gifted Camp.
You looked that up just now?
No,
That's-
I've seen the movie for 3 weeks.
Wow. Ding, ding, ding. one point to AJ.
That's a good
Twice.
memory. I've seen this 3 times and I can't remember half of the characters' names.
Well,
Nice,
I
me
mean,
neither.
I did watch it 6 hours ago, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't
I
that
did
long
too.
ago.
I did too.
Question two. I need the full answer for this. You can get a half point credit if you get it partially right. What did Madman Mars do immediately after killing his family that fateful night?
Josh
Go ahead.
goes to the bar and gets a drink.
I'll give you half point credit. According to
Oh.
Max, he puts his bloody axe on the bar and orders a beer.
I mean, that's
I
what
want-
Semantics.
I was looking for bloody axe on the bar.
Oh God.
Put your bloody axe on the bar.
Who's keeping score? Because I'm not writing this down.
It's 1 to 1/2. I'm keeping score.
1/2.
Not counting Madman's family, who was the first person to die in the film?
Aaron
Go ahead.
answers TP. Who is TP?
No,
That is a-
Josh,
Josh, you can steal.
Dippy.
Dippy.
Oh, of course, Dippy.
We got to
Yeah.
have a talk about Dippy tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I'll speed through this. please.
I'll wait because
We can
twice
talk
now
about it.
I've had things to talk about. So
Okay.
this is a nice framing device.
Okay, we can talk about it if it brings up the conversation. Let's get into Dippy.
Yeah. Dippy, without a shadow of a doubt, is my favorite character in the movie.
Because he doesn't
Because-
last long enough to
He
hate.
doesn't say a word.
Exactly. He goes, like he's just over the Gifted camp.
He is us.
and
We are
it's-
Dippy.
Yeah.
He is as over that movie as we are.
It's like an overinflated Stephen Wright is just over the Gifted camp. He keeps chugging at the air in the Jack Daniels bottle, even though he's woken up by Stacy in her recorder, like, it's empty, Dippy.
He's just trying to get every last drop out of that bottle.
So
And-
the scene. Sorry, go ahead.
And again, I have one little bit that I have to finally get out after 3 weeks of
Please.
wanting to talk deep about Dippy.
Also, we have to save some for next week.
Well, all right.
But go ahead.
So all 3 of us have seen Star Trek V: The Final Frontier
Oh, of
multiple
course.
times, probably. And how shitty the special effects look in that movie because they were trying to save money and not use ILM
Mhm,
for the special effects.
mhm.
Guess who worked on that movie in the visual effects department but Dippy?
Stop.
No.
Yeah, if you look him up on IMDb, Dippy is connected to the worst Star Trek movie there is. Actually, of the old ones.
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
Not good.
That's another podcast. But
All
Yeah,
right,
that's,
so
that's
so
the
let's.
Star Trek pod.
Hold
But
on.
Dippy is connected to Star Trek V.
stop it. Does he do special effects?
Yes,
Did
Yeah,
he do
and-
special effects for Madman?
I think he may have helped. Yeah, because they basically say, like, if you look
Oh.
on there, like one of the trivia things is, and I'm sorry, I don't have Dippy's name remembered or memorized, but
Well-
he shows up, looks like that, and dies in multiple movies,
That's
including
fantastic. Well, this
Madman.
gives me something to dig into
He's like a minor league Tom Savini then.
Yeah.
Back to the
So,
game or more on
well,
Yes.
let's back
No,
up on
well,
Dippy.
yeah.
I'm not done
Give Josh
with
some
this.
Dippy.
All right, go for it.
I'm not
Please.
done with this. So,
I was hoping this would spark conversation.
so Dippy, for those not in the know, for those of you who haven't subjected yourself to Madman Mars,
And if you have, get the fuck out.
Dippy is the camp cook who appears and dies just as quickly as he appears. But can we talk about the scene leading up to Dippy's grand appearance where TP and Max are outside and there's a hatchet buried in the stump?
Mhm.
And Max is like, I bet you blah 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 that you can't pull that hatchet out. And TP's like, oh, of course I can, and starts tagging on it. And then immediately is like, hey Max, why don't you help me with this thing? Come on. Just like, what? That's not how a bet works. They're both tugging on it, and that's when
the next
Dippy
day,
makes his grand appearance. And they're like, Dippy, come over here and help us with this thing.
He wants nothing to do with it.
No,
he's
I'm
he's
good
over
with
this
my
shit.
bottle. I'm good with my bottle.
I love Dippy's character, and I'm sad that we don't get more of him. Because when I first saw him, I'm like, I'm thinking he's going to be like a sleepaway camp level cook in the camp, you know? And I was all excited to see some creepiness out of Dippy, and then he gets it in the very next scene, which just shows you that the people responsible for this atrocity of a movie have no idea how to make an entertaining film, and that pretty much echoes throughout the entire.
They didn't know what they had.
runtime.
They didn't know the gold they had with Dippy. Josh,
Yeah.
next question. Funny you say that. How much?
Wait, was this to me specifically?
Nope. Just how much?
Question 4.
Question 4. How much is Max's offer to anyone who can remove
Aaron
from the stump? Yes.
Aaron, $100. Because he owes Madman Mars $100 because Madman comes in, pulls that shit out like it's nobody's business.
He's like, this is for biting my nose off, motherfucker. Give me that $100. All right. So
well, when you have hands like Madman, how could you not just easily pull?
2 to Aaron, 2, Josh, 1.5. Question.
I'm kind of upset that I'm winning this.
Question 5. How far? We'll do Price is Right rules. Closest with that, or we'll just say closest. How far into the movie before the first hand shot?
Oh. 20 minutes.
No, it is 5 minutes.
Well,
without
Aaron,
going over.
The actual answer is 20 seconds. 20 seconds. You get a hint.
Of Madman?
I should have said not counting the credits. After the beginning credits roll. 20 seconds. He's telling the story. When they're telling the campfire story, you get a nice close-up of his fat hand.
Just a nice taste of things to come.
Aaron gets a point. It's 3 to 1.5.
I don't get a point for that. I was over.
This is bullshit.
No, I don't want that point. Take that point away.
Next question. Max is heading into town to play cards. What else is he going to do in town?
Drink.
Nope.
Yeah, drink.
Oh, Josh, drink.
Nope. He's going to pick up shutters at Sunny's.
Oh, to close up. I don't remember that line.
Nope. Didn't
I'm at this week 3, when TP starts, I guess it's a song around the campfire. It's like folk felking or some shit where he's like basically setting up the story. It's so fucking triggering at this point where I'm just like, is this a song? It's kind of got a rhythm to it. It's kind of not, doesn't. It's just, I'm sick of it.
He just wanted to show off those pipes.
The dread that I feel when it's just down to the girl with the mullet and like the Muppet face. I think her name's Ellie. And she's like just being chased through that kitchen. Like that's a 25 minutes. But when you see it
last
start,
week,
like, my God.
last
What?
week you talked about adding goofs to
Yeah.
IMDb.
Oh, I hope you
This
got the one I got.
this week, no,
Okay.
not the spoil. We're all gonna say Madman for week 4 is going on. For week 4, I am timing from the moment that Bill dies to how long, because it's got to be a freaking fifth or eighth of the movie spent on Ellie's scene
Yeah.
running from Madman Mars to where she gets the axe in the chest has to be at least 15 minutes. That is
It's
just pure padding.
It's
it's a long time.
it's just awful. It's like as soon as that starts up. Okay. We only got a few more. Who does
Okay.
Max leave in charge of the camp when he leaves to go play cards?
Aaron,
Tiki.
I heard Aaron buzz
uh,
in. That's why you gotta buzz
you
in.
gotta TP.
Point to AJ. 4 to 1.5. Come
This is
on,
rigged.
come on, Big Z. Okay, I timed this from frame cut to frame cut. How long is the whirlpool scene closest without going over?
Oh, not long enough.
Oh, too long.
Uh,
Aaron
You
says
can both give
5
a guess,
minutes.
and I'll give it to whoever's closest.
5
5
minutes.
Okay, Josh.
oh, that's a good guess. I'm gonna Price is Right you 501.
Oh shit.
It's actually only 2 minutes and 19
No,
seconds.
it's not.
It seems a lot more. I did it twice. I've got it to the second. 2
Oh my
minutes 19.
God.
So AJ gets that one.
That's the most glorious 2 minutes and 1 second of mating ritual you'll ever see on film.
And again, viewers at home, viewers here during the podcast, when TP's body double, since this was a high class film, as that man gets into the gifted camp's hot tub, he has a white speck of toilet paper in his upper butt cheek.
No.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's there.
Well, I can't wait to see this again.
That's
It's
a goof.
Oh,
There's a bird. I guess.
yeah, that's amazing. I'm gonna watch for that.
So he's got the world's strangest belly button and toilet paper hanging out of his crack.
Poor guy.
What a sex symbol.
Oh, and by the way, I wanted to know what was said. And so I rewound the only part of the sex scene in the whirlpool because again, I couldn't stand to look at the actual screen. So I was in the room, I heard it. And when Betsy pops back up and she's like, I was right in the middle. You didn't let me finish. TP goes, "You're a poop."
You're a poop.
And it's solely bad dubbed. It's like over probably the heat pump and the swirling bubbles. It barely records. He goes, "You're a poop." And maybe it's AR'd. I don't know, but it just doesn't fit. It doesn't come out of his mouth, but it just goes, "You're a poop."
I didn't notice that.
And closed captioning doesn't work on Shutter, so I couldn't it sounds like that. But
Oh my God.
you're a poop.
So I don't have much more to say about Madman Mars this week, but I did look up the Wikipedia. It was going on and on about how it's such a cult classic, such a beloved film since its release, and apparently in 2017, a website or a magazine named Complex, which I've never heard of,
Oh
named
yeah,
it
I've heard of
the
Complex.
25th greatest slasher film of all time. 25th greatest slasher film of all time. I want that to sink in.
I mean,
I
that
could-
just means there's 24 better movies.
I can no longer hear Jared.
Jared, fix your shit.
You muted yourself, Bear.
You muted yourself, Jared.
Hey guys.
But
I wanted to say it should be top 20.
Oh no.
That's
No,
bullshit
God.
magazine. All right, indulge me, please. I got two more.
2 more.
According to legend, the campfire story, what do you smell as Madman approaches
Aaron.
you? Yes.
Death.
Wow.
You smell hands and feet.
It is 6 to 1.5. And final question. This one's going to be worth 6 points. Not counting Dippy and not counting Madman Mars. How many people are in this camp? Otherwise, how many people are around the campfire in the beginning? Counting children.
Aaron.
X. Yes.
11.
Josh.
13.
13 on the button. Josh wins with a score.
Oh, thank God. You're so
For
lucky.
The 6-point answer. Josh
You're
wins
so privileged.
7.5 to 6. That's the first game of Madman Trivia. I don't want to watch this goddamn thing again.
Jared, when you lived in a prior lifetime in Brooklyn, did you ever go out to North Sea on Long Island?
I didn't.
On the way to the Hamptons? Did you ever
I regret it.
You could have gone to the filming scene.
I could have. I should have.
Man. All right.
And that's the thing, is they make it out like they're in Europe. They're on Long Island. Does it really take 8 hours to get back to the city?
No. You got the Long Island Railroad fucking 10 minutes away from the cabin. All you gotta do is jump on that thing. Here, can I'll say
I have some more questions. I have some more questions. I want to get these out on this viewing.
on this
no.
On this viewing.
Oh God, what are we gonna do next week?
And I'll have more questions. We're scholars of Madman at this point. We could be called up and called upon to be on a podcast and answer questions. Although Josh has decided to erase all memory of it. So I have to ask you this question this week. When Stacy dies, and we all know Stacy is the one who champions. She's a recordist, and she also is a champion of a muddy hill. When she dies in that truck engine bay from the hood, Madman Mars has a vertical leap of apparently 8 feet because he doesn't jump through the truck, like the truck bed to the roof, because she would be like, what's going on back there, and look around. You see Madman Mars's puffed up Mickey Mouse feet should come down on the hood of the truck. So he has to jump up with enough force to clear that old Chevy truck, which is at least 4.5 feet high, and then have enough velocity coming back down against gravity to completely take that woman's head off.
Yeah. But not only that, Aaron, I had this as a goof, but it's kind of not a goof, it's just dumb. Not only that, but she's looking under the hood and he jumps up, like you said, the vertical leap. It doesn't jostle the car at all. Like at no point.
No, he doesn't use the car for a fulcrum. He leaps from the ground.
But even him landing on top he's a large man. Him landing on top of that car, you'd think would have some sort of
Now he is part grandpa
jarring
Wookiee.
effect on the car.
Well, he has the athleticism of a gymnast. And he stuck the fucking landing.
He's part Wookiee. So Wookiees live in trees. So maybe this harkens back to the beginning where he was, instead of you see him running around all the time, but maybe this was the one time that he decided, I'm going to be in a tree and I'm going to drop down on this truck.
Yeah.
But I think this is something for week 4. All 3 of us pay attention for that death scene. I don't think there's any trees around above that. She's in an open field or on a street.
Maybe. I don't. Well, that actually, I was almost gonna say that made me think of an actual goof, but I gotta save something for next
All
week.
right. All right.
Because,
And all right, no, let me do one last question.
please do.
Because again, as I mentioned earlier,
Love it. Keep
the
it coming.
auto closed captioning on Shudder doesn't work like at all for this movie.
Oh
And
no.
there's no built-in closed captioning. So
So
if you
impaired,
are
just enjoy
if
Mad
you,
Men.
oh shucks, too bad for them. What does Betsy say at the end of this stupid movie?
Jared,
When okay, Jared.
she
It
says,
sounds like Latin.
I think she says you're a poop. She says, no, you're the poop.
You're the
Because there's-
poop now,
there's-
madman.
She's
No,
hanging
like
on that.
when she's getting hung up on the
She's
wall.
on the hook,
Yeah.
and then that other hand comes up, which isn't hers, but they're trying to be like, oh look, it's her getting ready to stab him.
Yes.
She says something that I rewound again twice,
Yeah.
and I was like, what is this? I don't know. And I tried to turn closed captioning on, and I rewound it another 2 times, and it wouldn't pick up.
I can't believe Kat. I thought the same thing. She's like, Condor, Mom. It's like it's summoning a demon, or like it's not. Yeah, it might be that, but that's crazy that you can't get captioning for that.
And
'Cause
I
need to-
have.
We got to get to the bottom of it.
That's something that needs the bottom found.
Oh my
And
god!
I also have a theory for this movie now.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to leave. Week 3 is this theory, and I want you guys to think about this theory on our next viewing next week. First of all, I'm very suspect of the characteristics of this monster. Number 1, because why wouldn't the locals have found the bodies in the house where they knew Mars lived?
It's pretty wide open.
And then hold on.
Beaten path.
No. It's in Long Island. It's not off the beaten path that bad. But anyway, first off, the issue in my mind was, why didn't they just go to his house? And then it's like, all right, the movie starts, and we know it's a gifted camp because it's in the opening scroll.
Yep.
Do you think the kids are some kind of telekinetic mutants, like an X-Men? And TP does that story, and the combined telekinetic powers of these gifted kids, all 5 of them to 6 counselors, combine their powers and they manifest Madman Mars.
Yep. Aaron.
Madman Mars is like it's like a fire starter, except to make a giant Wookiee grandpa with Mickey Mouse feet come alive and kill the counselors that you're sick of because it's Thanksgiving and you're stuck on Long Island at a gifted camp.
Oh my god! I think that's the lens I'm going to watch it with next time. Got to do some kind of fan fiction viewing.
It's
next.
It's
I
like
think
Schroeder's
you guys are
cat.
poops.
It's Schroeder's cat. The Madman Mars doesn't exist until those kids let him out of the box, because it's just a house. And Max and TP, I finally figured out after 3 weeks that they're not telling the Madman Mars story with TP. It's just a generic story, and then Max does his thing, and those gifted kids manifest Mars to be real. And number 1 is Richie, because how does Richie not die? He's in the house. Then he leaves the house and he goes back to the house.
Which
yes,
I'm going to save this for my next topic. For the next record. But I would rather see a movie made out of the story that TP is singing in the beginning, because that is a way cooler story. Next time you watch it, listen for that, and you'll be like, shit, that's cooler than what I'm about to see. Hey guys, we got to wrap this up, I think.
I think we went long, but hey.
Let's find out what we're doing next
well,
week.
we got to make it official. We're gonna go around, give our summations of the movies, and pick your favorite. Pick the winner or the. We still haven't really figured out. Is it a winner?
Oh, it's a loser.
Is Madman a? Okay, I'll start with me. Clearly, Planet Terror is just a fantastic piece of work from start to finish. Incredibly stylistic, fun to watch. Madman, I'm wondering if we'll get to the point of like Stockholm syndrome with it because I just I I can't do it. Anyway, Planet
Listen,
Terror, the winner.
I
Congratulations.
I had a real hard time deciding between the two when you put a financial and commercial flop like Planet Terror up against the 25th greatest slasher movie of all time. I really had to do some deep soul searching.
25th greatest slasher.
But at the end of the day, Planet Terror eked out and gets put on the shelf, and Madman is still the reigning loser.
Oh my God. All right, AJ.
I'm glad we get to continue our Madman Mars studies another week at this point. You could say that I am already marching double step in time in anticipation of week 4 of this horse shit. Because I know at week 4 that means if it continues, there's only 2 more weeks of the movie can hurt
That's
me.
true. We never really did say to all our listeners that we made an agreement that if a movie ever makes it past 6 weeks, on the 6th viewing, we will take that movie and put it in the Hall of Fame, which
Hall of Shame.
we have deemed the
Shame.
Hall of Shame, aka the shit locker. It goes into the shit locker, where it will stay until we have enough movies in the shit locker to bring them back out and do a season
Battle Royal.
yeah. So once we get to maybe the 6th viewing of Madman, we will send it packing for the time being, but it will come back. We may see Madman Mars again, unless it gets taken by the next movie, which is going to oh boy, it's going to be House of the Devil.
Oh man.
Ty West's masterpiece.
Oh God.
Why can't we be talking about like Longlegs versus Maxine?
Look, when we were suggesting movies to throw into this gauntlet, I clearly misunderstood the assignment.
No, we're doing it just fine. Eventually it will get to the point where we're going to have
I'm sorry, guys.
2 fresh faces.
I'm sorry.
Listen, this is
I feel like Ray Stantz apologizing for Stay Puffed. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
Bigsy.
Yeah, I hated this one. So,
Oh,
You hated House of. Hold up, but stay tuned, folks, because this could get interesting. It doesn't matter, but we're gonna watch every horror movie ever made eventually. So don't worry.
I just want to watch every movie on Complex's list of the greatest slasher movies ever made.
When I think of Complex, I think of shoes. I think of the resale shoe market. Like that's really the only thing I know Complex about.
There's been.
I'm Jared. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit more urban than you, but
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
Complex is that type of media outlet.
When I go educate myself. There's been 12 Friday the 13th movies, all of them better than Madman, even the worst one.
Yeah.
How is it 20? What list was it? Send me that list. I want to.
There's been multiple Halloween movies, all of them better than Madman.
They're probably all on that list. It probably goes Friday the 13th, Halloween, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, and then because it's just 25 slasher films, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the Freddy movies are better.
The Screams. I Know What You Did Last Summer is better than Madman.
Actually, I can't wait to get that.
All right. Do your Do your
Whoever
sign
wrote
off.
that list is a poop. Hey, so congratulations to Planet Terror, and I hope you saved room for next week because we're gonna eat the buckle. Bye now.
I don't want to do this again.
No, God
Oh
bless.
God.
Bye,
You're a
everybody.
poop.
Bye, you poops.
Magician does his magic, thrills you with a slick trick. You never know just how he makes it happen. Find yourself just clapping and feeling good. Should the magic get you high, no need to wonder why. Come with me together, let's count all the stars in the sky. Don't need words to know how I feel about you.